Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I mean, talk about hypocrisy. The Democrats are an entity that can only be described by one word: oxymoron or oxymoronic. Paradoxical. They claim to be liberal, but we know them to be illiberal. They claim to be Democrats or democratic, but they are the most undemocratic group out there, the most unconstitutional group of political bandits you will find anywhere. And you know where the proof in that statement is? How many times have I made videos exactly like this? Joe Biden and the Democrats have once again been blocked. Why do you think they're getting blocked over and over again? Is it because they're acting in good faith? They're acting within the framework of the Constitution, the law, democratic norms? Of course not. They're trying to bulldoze their way through those norms. They're trying to subvert democracy, subvert the Constitution, and that is exactly why they are constantly being held to account. And also, this is exactly why they're going to lose 2022. The American people, I can pretty much guarantee you, will vote to put checks and balance on this current administration and the crony, corrupt, corporatist Democrats that surround this administration. So here we go once again. Biden and the Democrats have been blocked. We're going to cover all the little intricacies, all the little details, everything the mainstream is missing. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We're still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so the two headlines really say it all. Democrats, quote, hugely disappointed amnesty plan is blocked by Senate parliamentarian. Big blow to Biden. Senate parliamentarian rules citizenship path for illegals cannot be in $3.5 trillion bill, report says. The Associated Press reported late on Sunday evening that the Senate parliamentarian has indicated that the Democrats cannot include a pathway to citizenship for illegal aliens in their massive $3.5 trillion social spending bill. Fox News congressional correspondent Chad Pergram later confirmed the reporting, writing, a preliminary ruling from Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough obtained by Fox would bar Democrats from adding immigration provisions to the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. Democrats did not have firm legislative text nor a total price tag for the bill, so it's hard to see how there is an absolute ruling on this, Pergram said. The budget reconciliation bills, which Democrats were using to avoid a filibuster, must be strictly fiscal in nature and can't add to the deficit. It was believed that this push to add immigration to the bill was too policy-driven. Quote, this is a blow to Democrats and progressives who push to add immigration provisions to the bill. This will cause problems if Democrats have to slash the total size of this legislation to mollify moderate Democrats. Pergram continued, it was thought that lopping immigration provisions into the bill could help placate liberals if Democrats have to trim the size of the legislation. And I know that's a whole lot of political jargon, but essentially what that means is what we've covered before. In order to use the reconciliation process, which is a process to pass government budgets specifically on a mere majority vote, so 51 votes, by passing the filibuster, the bill has to be strictly fiscal in nature. You can't add amnesty onto a reconciliation bill. And so obviously the Senate parliamentarian is going to shut that one down real quick. And here is where Democrats show their true colors. Ilhan Omar tells Schumer White House to, quote, ignore Senate parliamentarian ruling on immigration and infrastructure bill. Ilhan Omar writes, this ruling by the parliamentarian is only a, quote, recommendation. Senator Schumer and the White House can and should ignore it. We can't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do the right thing. The Democrat perspective is, as I told you, screw democracy, screw the Constitution, screw the rules. The only thing that matters to them are partisan victories and ensuring a Democrat future. Of course, you know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also chimed in. One of her followers tweets, WTF is a parliamentarian, to which AOC responds, you know when someone doesn't want to do something, but they don't want people to know they don't want to do it, so they blame someone else? That's the parole for certain Dems who don't want a $15 wage, path to citizenship for millions of Americans, etc. But we have options. Of course, once again insinuating that Democrats will try to skirt the democratic process. How ironic that sounds, Democrats skirting the democratic process. Take a look at her follow-up. Some of the options are ignore/override the parliamentarian. Their determination is not a ruling, it is guidance. Fire the parliamentarian. GOP did this in 01. Edit the legislative language language and review different paths, this is sometimes doable, sometimes not. So essentially, lie and somehow try to sneak amnesty in through deceptive language? Fire the parliamentarian because laws be damned, or just ignore and override the parliamentarian because, once again, Constitution and laws be damned. That's the Democrat perspective. I'll tell you one thing though, none of that will work. They will not have moderate Democrat votes if they choose to ignore the parliamentarian. I could pretty much guarantee you it. But really what's important to focus on is the final part of her first tweet, paths to citizenship for millions of Americans. What she means is a path to citizenship for illegal migrants who will be loyal Democrat voters and ensure Democrat reign for generations. It takes me back to 2 weeks ago when Jim Acosta on CNN literally said that was a conspiracy theory, that Tucker Carlson was floating a conspiracy theory.
Over on Fox, human manure spreader Tucker Carlson has floated yet another race-baiting conspiracy theory that tens of thousands of Afghan refugees are being welcomed into this country in order to change the outcome of future elections.
Well, clearly not. Biden administration to release family units from Del Rio illegal immigration crisis into the United States. Grand scale, tens of thousands of illegal aliens being released into the US, ex-ICE official says. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's literally a Democrat tactic. The Democrats are the most disingenuous group out there, folks. And they just continue to get more and more radical. Top progressives say $15 minimum wage is too low. Call for a $26 minimum wage. The level of ineptitude from these progressives is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's seriously gotta stop. I mean, we're talking about lessons that you're supposed to learn when you're a tiny child. When you were growing up, most likely your parents told you, son, daughter, zer, money doesn't grow on trees. Democrats apparently didn't get the message. The Biden administration warned states that federal debt crisis could trigger a recession. But just keep printing money, keep enabling unemployment, keep pushing for a ridiculous $26 an hour federal minimum wage, cause a recession devastating the middle class as the rich continue to get richer, another added level of irony and hypocrisy, the continued paradox of Democrat politics, claiming to be for the working class, the poor, and the disenfranchised, as they continue to expand the wealth divide. Well, thankfully enough, and honestly you have Democrats to thank for this one, moderate Democrats, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, who are putting a stop to all of it. Right-wing Democrats ramp up assault on Biden agenda. The next few weeks will see some of the most important political jockeying in a half-century. Biden knows the fate of his spending plan will show extent of his power and define his legacy. House Democrats worry Joe Biden's radical agenda is failing. Quote, we better have a plan B. If Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin do what they're saying and do what is right, and turn Joe Biden's presidency into a lame duck presidency, well then that'll be his legacy. And a loss of trust and a loss of faith in Democrat power is surely to follow thereafter. Be thankful, at least for now and at least to a certain extent. A lot of potential damage is clearly being mitigated. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We're still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm. I gotta get back to work though. I want to thank you guys for watching and I'll see you on the next one.